Hello everybody, it's Dan Mountain here for Gooner Fanzine TV. I'm joined by Layth and Serge. We're going to have a debrief of Joe Montemurro's post-Conti Cup final press conference. We've just come from London Colney where the Arsenal women's boss and Jordan Nobbs were speaking ahead of that final against Chelsea. So we're just going to run through what they had to say. They've got a few questions in as well, so we'll obviously run through those. But yeah, the final on Saturday at Nottingham Forest's ground, the City ground, taken on Chelsea, who unfortunately they've lost to twice this season in the Women's Super League. Joe was quite bullish on the fact that they want to put that behind them and get it right in the final. What were your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah. As you say, like Joe spoke really well, didn't he? I mean, we were all there, and we were just another impressive press conference from Joe, who's a real Arsenal man as well, which really shone through. But I mean, he was bullish, but he was obviously respectful as well. I think he just speaks so well about the game in terms of the opposition, because he's obviously not bigging them up, but at the same time he's not disrespecting them either. Obviously, we all know that Chelsea beat Arsenal 4-1 at Bournemouth last month on the back of beating Emma Hayes' side, beating Arsenal 2-1 in October. So there is revenge to be had, but he wasn't going to go down that route. He wasn't going to be, he played a dead bat on everything, which is the right thing to do before a cup final, basically. He's obviously excited, he's looking forward to it, he's relishing the experience. As he said as well, he was proud to sort of manage Arsenal, but I think he just wants to get there and to win a bit of silverware again, basically. And he was on good form today, I thought.
We've obviously spoken to Joe many times before, but Serge, it was the first time you've been in a press conference with Joe Montemurro. What did you make of him?
I was really impressed with how well he spoke, how he really came quite friendly to everyone. He understood how important this competition is for the fans and for all Arsenal viewers around the world. And I thought he spoke about it so friendly and well, and also really good insight in his mindset as a manager. And obviously having Jordan Nobbs there as the captain, it's going to be our first cup final she's going to captain, so it was really impressive how highly regarded he held her and how well he thought that she would play in the past few months since her debilitating injury. Yeah. Well, here's what Joe Montemurro had to say on the Conti Cup final on Saturday.
It's always a privilege to be in a cup final. The process getting there is great. I love knockout tournaments. Because they are probably a little bit of a different approach to a league game sometimes. So and that for me showcases the importance of what a good squad we've got, because they're able to adapt to games against teams that aren't probably of the level, and you have to get through weather conditions, poor grounds on a one-off occasion, as opposed to a league game where you've got the opportunity to lead in and understand that you're playing next week. So there is a different approach. So from a cup final perspective, from a personal note, it's my third one since I've been here. It was an enjoyable first trophy that I got at the club, and hopefully many more to come for the club and for the players. I just got a little bit of the tingle. Well done again. We've done it. It's my boyhood club. You lead the team out into a cup final. You do all the work to get there, and I'm proud to be associated with anything to do with this club, and especially these amazing athletes. They're incredible. They represent the club in a way which I see on a day-to-day basis. And you guys probably see it more in the media and the marketing and the flashy stuff. But it's an absolute honour, and we just want to be better and better, and not just represent the club, but represent the game in a way that's by our style, the way we play, and bring it to another level. They are more direct. They are a team that, obviously use their power to go forward early, we just need to be smarter in the way we set ourselves up when we do lose the ball. But we don't want to lose sight of what we're trying to do, and the more we have the ball, the more they won't have it, and the more chances we're going to create to go forward and score goals.
Arsenal will be led out by midfielders Jordan Nobbs in the cup final on Saturday. She's been at the club for 10 years. She's a real legend and icon of Arsenal women. She spoke about her pride at leading the club out, didn't she? Which is really important.
Yeah. Jordan's great. She's like you say, when we've interviewed her before, we've watched her progress at Arsenal, and she's a world-class player. Basically, I think she showed great mental strength in coming back from a really, really serious injury, and everyone wishes her well, and everyone's just pleased for her. But she's a really good person as well. She, as I say, she speaks so well about the game, and she's got great knowledge as well. She's really articulate in terms of what she, how she sort of portrays what she's trying to say, basically. And I've got so much time for her. I think she's absolutely fantastic. And we just want her to do well on Saturday, basically. So yeah.
What she said today that really impressed me, when someone asked her about the wearing the captain's armband, she said wearing the shirt alone is sort of pride enough for her. So that shows really how highly she regards the Arsenal.
Yeah.
I thought it really shone through well that she's the captain. She understands how important that role is for what is a very, very good side against a very good Chelsea side. So I think she's fully aware of how important and how high the stakes are for this cup final.
Yeah.
So obviously bear in mind, this is one of the many competitions that Arsenal women are still in.
Well, they could potentially do the quadruple. And still in the FA Cup, Champions League, obviously still win title contention in the Women's Super League, and then Conti Cup final Saturday.
So I think it really shone through quite brightly how important Jordan thought this game was, and obviously with it being before a mid-season break, it kind of gives them opportunities to sort of really get a nice win under the belt, go away to the break, sort of play together and work together well, so they can really go into the rest of the season with a real strong intent.
I really like the fact she listed off former Arsenal women's captain as well. She could tell history with the club. You know, Alex Scott, Faye White, Kelly Smith, Kim Little, who's the current captain, obviously out injured. Hence why Jordan will be leading the side out on Saturday. But that was really impressive as well. It shows that she cares about the club and she knows the history.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. That's a really good point there, because I do like Arsenal people, Arsenal players, past and present, to talk about the club, to talk about the ethos and the history of the club, and to have a sort of an acknowledgement of what's gone before them. And there was real respect there from Jordan, and there was real knowledge as well, and really impressed by that. It was really good to see.
She also referred to Arsenal as the Arsenal, didn't she?
Yeah,
saying you're a massive fan.
I absolutely love the definitive article. It's the Arsenal, basically. So yeah, extra points for Jordan for that. Yeah, definitely.
Well, here's what Jordan Nobbs had to say ahead of the Conti Cup final.
To wear the Arsenal shirt anyway has been a privilege. Obviously, it's my 10th year at the club, so whenever I get to follow in the footsteps of Jane Ludlow, Kim Little, Kelly Smith, Alex Scott, I mean, it's an absolute honour, whether it's a cup final or not. But obviously, to be a part of that and a part of also Joe's squad, it's just a great place to be. And if I could wish for anything, I would have done exactly the same thing I did in my career, because I've enjoyed every minute of being at Arsenal. I want to win trophies for this club, and the Continental Cup final seems to be one we like to win, and I'll just be going out there with the same mentality as always, and I'm glad to be part of any game, and cup finals are obviously the most important. It's key for Arsenal Football Club. I think if we weren't winning trophies, obviously we're not in the place we want to be, so I think we've been a club that have created history, and the reason for that is because we want to win, and we want to win everything, and that'll continue, you know, whenever we're wearing Arsenal shirts, and that'll continue on Saturday as well, that we want to win that trophy.
Layth here also got to ask Joe some questions, didn't you? You've quizzed him many a time on if Arsenal women will play at the Emirates anytime soon. He gave quite an interesting response, didn't he?
Yeah. Joe, like you say, Joe's a great guy, and he's good value as well. And there was a sort of light element to it as well. Obviously, it was a really serious press conference, but at the same time, there was a bit of humour too. Yeah. Mostly by Joe, which was great. I mean, at one stage, he asked me about what the weather was going to be on Saturday, didn't he? It was just a cold and wet.
You did well as Gooner Fanzine TV's weatherman. It was very impressive.
That's my new role now, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, he was great. Yeah, literally, it's almost a right joke now between me and Joe about, you know, asking him when Arsenal women are ready to play at the Emirates, basically. And he's a very polished performer. He's a real football man as well. He knows what to say. He knows what he can and can't say, basically, and he knows what he believes. And there was a chink of light for me, because obviously I think Arsenal women should play at the Emirates. And even if it's just for one showcase game, and then you can kick on from there, basically. I'm not saying they have to do every game there, but you need to do at least one now, just in this current climate, basically, when a lot of clubs have done that. And Joe basically said, potentially we'll do it next season. Yeah,
well, it is obviously worth mentioning they did have that game at the Emirates Cup, but they need a league game, don't they? Yeah.
I think it's so important for the women to actually play at Emirates, because tickets for the men's game are quite hard to come by sometimes, especially if you're not a season ticket holder. So I think families, and especially the younger fan who really love Arsenal in all its forms and love going to the Arsenal, having a women's game there's a fantastic opportunity. The tickets are really, really reasonably priced. The season ticket is very reasonably priced, and it's just a perfect day out seeing the Arsenal. And the women's team is one of the best teams out there.
One of the best teams in Europe. Yeah.
I mean, by a large gap, they're so much better than any other team, and they are a wonderful team to watch, especially with Jordan Nobbs coming back from injury, being the captain. You've got Leah Williamson, both of them have been set for England. We've got 3 selected for the Scotland team. Yeah. We've got a team packed with talent, especially now we've got Caitlin Ford coming over from Australia. We've got a real good team, and in the next few years, with the women's game sort of on the massive trajectory upwards it's going on, now is the time to really get the Emirates going there.
Definitely.
Well, even if you look through history, you know, Arsenal women have been a real dominant force. You know, they're the only women's club to have won a quadruple. They could do it again this season, touch wood.
Well, Vic Akers is the most successful Arsenal manager.
Of course, So, you know, they've got a really good history, and they've sold out Meadow Park, their Bournemouth home, a few times this season, haven't they? So there's a real good back in there.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I think Joe acknowledged that, sort of reading between the lines.
Yeah.
He's obviously got to play a dead bat on it, like we say. But yeah, I think there is real light at the end of the tunnel for Arsenal women playing a game at the Emirates, basically, and great stuff. I'm really pleased about that.
I like the fact that Joe obviously knew you were going to ask that question. So he's very prepped for it ahead
It's not the first time, is it?
As soon as he sees you walk in, he goes, "Oh, it's the Emirates question."
He's here. So here's what Joe had to say on Arsenal women playing at the Emirates.
Look, I think it's definitely on the schedule for next season. I think we will look at some games, obviously at the Emirates, but it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of scenarios that make it viable, and the viability needs to be there for us to justify it. So, and I understand that. You know, we have to be realistic. But no, definitely there will be some opportunities, I think, next year to put our case forward, and hopefully it'll happen.
Leif also asked another question to Joe Montemurro about Mikel Arteta. Obviously, came in as Arsenal men's boss in December. He's had a really good start. You asked him whether they'd had any kind of sit-down interaction together. He played almost a bit of a dead bat on it, didn't he?
Yeah. There is obviously interest from the men's side, and that's great. But Joe was honest in the fact he goes, our schedules are different, and they're busy and we're busy, basically. So it's not like we're going to sit down and have a chat for half an hour about what's going on. Although you like to think that's happened at some stage and could potentially happen again. But Joe's just like, there is interest there, and then they all wish us well, basically, which is great. It's great that the men's side are taking an interest in the women's team, basically. So,
I think it's quite important as well to remember that they all train at the same ground together. Whilst we were there, we saw Hector Bellerin. So there's obviously quite a deep connection. You know, Rob Holding and Jordan Nobbs both came back from injury together.
Yeah.
So there is a togetherness of the two teams, and I think if the women do go on and win this trophy, then it's going to give a boost to the men's team as well, knowing that they've got a successful women's team. If they have a successful men's team, it's quite good for them momentum-wise to actually just work together on this.
Yeah, it's nice to think there's a bit of solidarity between the different teams and stuff, which is great, and that's what Arsenal's about, really. So, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, two really good footballing men as well, aren't they? Obviously, we've been in Mikel Arteta's press conference. I think him and Joe are similar in a way. You know, they both understand the importance of leading Arsenal Football Club, whether that be the men's or the women's, and they understand the history, the traditions, all the stuff like that. So I think, if they were to sit down, there'd be a bit of a spark there between them.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be great to be a fly on the wall if they were going to have a discussion, like a long sort of informed discussion. That'd be great. That, but there's definitely interest from the men's side and vice versa, basically, which is great to see. Arsenal's one big family, so yeah.
Well, here's what Joe Montemurro had to say on Arsenal men's boss Mikel Arteta.
We unfortunately our schedules are just crazy. So it's not as if we sit down once a week and once a month and have these amazing football discussions. It doesn't happen. But they're great. They're on board. The board members have been fantastic. Anyone in the departments have just been great. So they're all on board with what we're trying to do. It is one family.
We also had a chat with Joe afterwards. Quite interesting, he said he actually watches Gooner Fanzine TV. So, Joe, if you are watching, thank you very much for tuning in. Always a pleasure. Good to chat to you afterwards as well. But how good is that?
Honestly, just if he could go further up in my estimation, I didn't think it was possible, basically. But yeah, obviously, we had the press. It took a bit of time, and we were sort of there and asking loads of questions, and there was loads of press sort of interest as well. But he finished all that, a complete gentleman as ever. We sort of came over and we had a quick chat with him and shook his hand and had a bit of a laugh and stuff. And he was like, "Mate, I saw, I've been watching you." We're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Gooner Fanzine TV, and watch it, mate." I was just like, "Mate, honestly."
And it's true, because obviously you mentioned about Glenn sort of not quite approving of Joe.
Glenn, you're not in Joe Montemurro's good books, unfortunately.
You've made Joe grumpy Joe now.
Yeah, but seriously, Joe, if you are watching, thank you very much for watching. Leave us a comment, Joe, if you are watching. Let us know you're there. But Just to wrap things up, really enlightening press conference, wasn't it?
It really was, and it was good fun as well.
Yeah.
You can't always say that about press conferences. I know press conferences have to be serious and everything, but it was really enjoyable, really insightful, roll on Saturday, basically.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can stress enough, because I've never been to the training ground before, it is a brilliant, brilliant place. And
the facilities are incredible,
Incredible facilities. That ground was almost like walking on carpet. It was incredible. So I think, it was a great day out. Seeing Joe in the flesh was brilliant, because the man is one of the wittiest men I've ever met. Absolutely marvellous, even wittier than Layth. So that's a lot.
He's not bad for an Aussie, put it that way.
Well, that's it from us here, debriefing Joe Montemurro and Jordan Nobbs' pre-Conti Cup final press conference. There'll be more from us this week. Obviously, got a podcast that you guys will be filming today. There's also reaction and player ratings from Arsenal men's win over Everton on Sunday. That's on the channel already. Make sure you watch that. But yeah, as I say, that's all from us here. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, make sure to like, share and subscribe and keep watching. Thank you very much.